Hello Year 2 and welcome to your second session learning about apostrophes for contraction. For this session you will need something to write with and something to write on, so please pause the video and go and collect these now. Good, let's get started. So we're going to start off with just a little bit of a warm-up, okay? So over here you can see that I've written the long form of should have. I've got two separate words, should have. And over here I have written the contracted form, should have. So I'm going to get you to use that information to help you, and I would like you to think about what do you think is hiding under this blue oblong. So here I've got the contracted form would have. So which two words do you think are hiding under here? Please pause the video now and have a go at writing the two words that you think are used and contracted to write would have. Super, let's have a look. So we have would have. Would have can be contracted in the same way as I've contracted should have to create would have. Super job, guys. Okay, so here we've got I will. I've written the longer form. I would like you to have a go at writing the contracted form of I will. Pause the video and have a try. Great job, guys. So I will becomes I'll. Fantastic. So here I have we are, and again I would like you to have a try at writing the contracted form. So we are becomes something. Pause the video now and have a go. So we are becomes we're. We are becomes we're. Fantastic. Now I'm going back the other way again. I have written the contracted form she's, and I would like for you to have a think which two words were they originally before I contracted it and wrote she's. I'm going to give you a clue. There are two possible answers for this one. Off you go. So she's, I was thinking of she has, she's, or you could have she is contracted to she's, okay? So it's two possible answers because they contract to create the same contracted form. Good stuff. Okay, so I would like you to pause the video now and I'd like you to choose one of these contracted forms. So that's the ones on this side. And I would like you to have a go at writing a sentence using one of these forms. Off you go. Great, so when you finish that, I'd love to see them being sent in. Okay, so we talked about contractions yesterday and finding a shorter way of writing two words. Okay, and remember we said that they're really, really old. How many years ago did we first see them? Can anyone remember? 400 years ago. I thought that was quite a fascinating fact. So we're going to have a look at some today that are a little bit different and don't always follow the same rules. As we know in English, things don't always follow the same rules and it can be a little bit tricky, but I know that we can tackle this challenge fantastically. So here I've got did not. Okay, now did not, I'm sure lots of you know, becomes didn't, but let's look at how that happens. So when we have did not, we're getting rid of the O in not, but we are also getting rid of the space between did and not. The words we looked at yesterday, we were getting rid of the first two letters normally in one of the words, so it was quite easy to squish them together, but in this one we are having to get rid of the space too. So that leaves us with the letters D, I, D, N, T. Now we know that we said that the apostrophe shows where we've taken something out. Now we're not popping the apostrophe here between the D and the N. We don't want it there. We are putting the apostrophe where we've removed the O. Okay, so we end up with didn't. So let's have a look at a few other ones that don't always follow the rules exactly and that could be a little bit complicated. So here we've got the word cannot. Now cannot I think is a tricky one because we sort of expect for cannot to be two separate words, but it is one word altogether. So on your paper I would like for you to write, please, the contracted form of cannot. What do you think that might be? Pause the video now and have a go. Super. Okay, so the contracted form of cannot is can't, and you can see that there were two N's here. We've removed one of the N's. We've also removed the O and we've popped an apostrophe in and squished it all together. So cannot becomes can't. And we know at Mainey School, we don't really use the word can't very much unless we're saying the sentence, I can't do it yet, okay? And then we would perhaps go and ask somebody for a little bit of help, or we'd have another go or try and find a different way of tackling the problem. Okay, cannot becomes can't. Let's have a look at another one. Okay, here we've got will not. Now this is a really, really tricky one, okay? I'd like you to have a go. What does will not become as its contracted form? Pause the video now and write down your idea. Okay, so I've been giving you a bit of a mean one. I've given you a tricky one here. Will not becomes won't, okay? So I will not play outside if it is raining, or I won't play outside if it is raining. So what we've done here is we've actually gotten rid of the ILL, and we've sort of moved this O over. So will not becomes won't. And you can see the apostrophe is showing where this O has been taken and sort of moved over, okay? Let's have a look here. So there are so many different words that we can have a go at contracting and finding different forms of. And it's not possible for us to go through all of them together. But what's important is that you can see them in books, you can identify them when you're reading, that you know what an apostrophe is for, so you know that it's showing that something's been taken out or taken away. And that you can have a think about what the two words might have been before it was contracted. Okay, so I'm just going to close my video so that you can see the next screen really clearly. So your first challenge today is to try and fill in the missing parts of this table. Now there is a version of this that you can print off on the website if you would like to, but you really don't have to. You can just write your ideas down and then check, then you can send them in to us to have a look at, okay? So we're going to do these first two that I've covered with blue boxes. We'll do those together and then it will be your turn. So you can see that in the kind of greeny writing on the first line of each of these rows, that we have got the longer form of the word, okay? And you can see that in the purple writing, we've got the contracted form. So some of them are missing their contracted form and some of them are missing their longer form. So let's try this one together. So here we've got the contracted form, couldn't. And we know that the longer version of that, the two words that we had before we contracted them and created couldn't, was, tell me, could not. Fantastic. We also have here do not. Now we've not looked at this one, but I think you'll be able to work it out. Do not. What do you think the contracted version of do not is? Can you tell me? It's don't. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, guys. So your first challenge is to fill in the missing bits within this table. You can see there's quite a few of them for you to fill in. Don't worry, there was never anything down in this very last corner, okay? But if you could think of a long form and a contracted form that we haven't got, that would be a great thing to add in down there as well. So please pause the video now and have a go at this challenge. Okay. And your second challenge for today is to use 6 of these words. So the words that we've looked at, I'd like you to look at the contracted versions of the words. It might be some that you can see here in the purple writing, or you might choose some that you've worked out yourself. I would like you to have a look at these and use them to write some fabulous sentences. Good luck with your challenge today. I hope you enjoy. Please remember to send your work in to Mrs. Johnson, Mrs. Biggs and myself. We are all really excited to see it. Have a great day, Year 2, and I will see you very soon. Bye.